Listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, K-Man? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. K-Man, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up next, get on your marks for the DG 5K Challenge. Cayfest continues with film, music, and the popular Red Sky at Night. And we top the show off with Talking Health with physicians from Baptist Health. Talk Today's next on Radio Cayman, 50 years strong. Stay with me.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I'm glad you can tune in to this afternoon show. And hopefully things are moving along smoothly for you. If not, if you're in a rough spot, well, hey, keep your head up and keep moving. Or as we used to say, keep on trucking, right? Keep on trucking. Well, it's a kind of rainy afternoon here in Georgetown, and for me that would be a good day for having some hot soup and sitting looking out the window at the rain and contemplating the meaning of life. Yeah, that would be nice if if you have the luxury of doing that, just taking it easy on a overcast, rainy afternoon here in the Cayman Islands. Well, the 2026 Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge is working its way across the Cayman Islands. The first race was in Cayman Brac on Sunday gone, with a big race coming up at the end of this month. And joining me now to talk about this popular running event is Chief Sustainability Officer in the Office of the Deputy Governor, Jennifer Ahearn. And if Cabinet ends in time, we actually hope that the Deputy Governor himself will be joining us. Good afternoon. And welcome to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me on.
How long has this 5K challenge been going on now?
So the first one was in 2014. So we've been running since then. We did have a couple of years where we had postponements due to COVID. We had the 2020 event finally in 2022. So this is the 11th time we've had the event, but we've been going since 2014.
Well, it has become, immensely popular. I mean, last year was a record-breaking year, right? How many people were in the race last year?
Last year, between the three islands, we had 2,485 people register to participate, which was the largest number of registrations that we'd had in any of the years before. And so we're really, really hoping that this year we can break that 2,500 mark and just get as many people out as we can. This is the last DG's 5K challenge that Mr. Manderson will be leading as the Deputy Governor before he retires in July of this year. So we're really hoping that the public will come out and support the event this year to sort of give him a final tremendous send-off with this event.
What do you think has made it so popular? Can you put your finger on any particular aspect of it?
I think it's a number of different factors. I think Mr. Manderson's leadership of it and championing of it has been really key. He's a very charismatic leader. He sort of walks the walk and talks the talk, and he's put an energy and an enthusiasm behind it that really has resulted in the members of the public as well as the members of the civil service and our corporate sponsors. It's an event that whether you walk it, whether you are one of those, 7-minute mile runners, whatever your level, you are able to come out, you can have some fun, you get to do something that's good for your health, you get to see a lot of people you might not have seen for a while, you might win one of our random raffle prizes, and the proceeds from the event are supporting some fantastic charities. So as DG says, there's no downside to this, and I think that's been part of the success.
So it's a run walk.
It's a run walk, yeah.
And it started in Cayman Brac?
This year, yeah. So
is it always that way?
Some years we've started in Little Cayman and then gone to the Brac. The very first year that we had it in 2014, it was only here in Grand Cayman. And it was the next year that we had it on the same day in Cayman Brac, and then we gradually expanded it so that the DG was able to get to both events. And then I can't remember exactly which year it was, but we were on our way back from the Brac event one year, and we were on the Twin Otter, and we landed in Little Cayman. And Camille Rose, who's one of our civil servants that was coming back from there, looked at us and said, "Oh, what have you been doing this weekend?" And we said, "Oh, we were in the Brac for the DG 5K." And she said, "Well, have you ever thought of having it in Little Cayman? And I'd be happy to organize it." So we've been having it on all 3 islands pretty much ever since then.
So how many people participate in Little Cayman?
So last year, I think we had over 60, which
That's
if you think about
good.
it as a proportion of the island's population, it's a pretty impressive turnout. I think so far this year, we've got 45 people registered for this weekend's race. And we had almost 100 people in the Brac last weekend.
Now you say there's also raffle prizes that you give to people?
Yeah, so at the end of the race, we have a random prize draw. We've got some great prizes that have been donated from local vendors, and everything from some free gym memberships to dinners out to spa services, I think we've got as well. Water Authority's given us some very generous donations of gift certificates as well. So even if you're not one of the potential top 3 finishers in your age group, you might still walk away with a little something.
Are there special prizes for the top 3?
Absolutely, yeah. We have top 3 finishers in male and female for a number of different age groups, as well as the top finishers overall, and the fastest civil servant, male and female.
The theme for this year is Honoring the Journey, Powered by Heart. Tell us what's behind that theme.
Yeah, so this year we have 3 amazing charities. Every year we have some amazing charities, but this year the charities are the Special Olympics, Cayman Islands. They're raising funds to support their journey to the World Games in Chile next year. And then the second charity is the Breast Cancer Foundation, who are raising money to support their mammogram voucher program to help with early screening. And then the last beneficiary this year is Jasmine, and they are raising funds for a cuddle bed, which is a specialized hospital bed that allows the hospice patients' families and loved ones to be able to cuddle up with them, basically. Something that, when your loved one is stuck in a regular hospital bed at end of life, it's very difficult to do. So, and any extra funds that they get besides that, they're going to use for some tablets to do mobile charting when they're working in the community. So every year when the Deputy Governor picks the charities, we sit down, the planning committee sits down and tries to come up with a theme for the year. We look at the charities that have been chosen and sort of talk around what sort of unites them, what's a common thread that goes between them. And so this year when we sat down and looked at it, there wasn't an obvious connection between the 3 charities at first. But as we talked about the fact that this is Mr. Manderson's final one as our Deputy Governor, we talked about the journey that the Jasmine patients and their families take in their end-of-life care. We talked about the journey of the breast cancer patients and their families as well that are supported by the Breast Cancer Foundation. And also the journey of the Special Olympics athletes who are training to go away to compete on the world stage in the World Games. So that, and then of course the journey of Mr. Manderson as Deputy Governor, and the journey of the DG's 5K. We've gone from the first year where the DG and I thought, it'd be great to have 500 people and raise $5,000. And we raised over $12,000 that year and had 700 people, I think. And it's just grown every year since then. And also, his journey from, he'll talk about starting as an intern at the Immigration Department and how he has had his journey through the civil service to be the head of the civil service. So that was the link on the, honoring the journey. We thought that was really important. And then powered by heart. One of our civil service values is passion, integrity, and professionalism, but passion. Mr. Manderson has been really a champion of making the civil service, the hallmark of the civil service, being a caring employer, and the heart and caring that he brings to his leadership of the civil service. And then, of course, the heart and the caring of the Jasmine, the people at Jasmine who work with the families there, the courage and the heart of the Special Olympics athletes as they train, and then, also with the Breast Cancer Foundation, the heart that you need to have in that battle as well. So that was where the, honoring the journey and powered by heart came up.
You mentioned a committee there coming up with this. Is that all made up of civil service people? Yeah.
So that's the role that I'm here today. I'm the co-chair with the Deputy Governor of the Planning Committee, and I have an amazing group of civil servants and some public servants from HSA as well who advise on the medical side. That have come together year after year to make the DG 5K magic happen. I'm so grateful for all of the work that they all put in. This is something that they're all doing, in that line on our job description, any other duty that may be assigned from time to time. So it's in addition to their substantive roles. And everybody's just so fantastic with finding a way to overcome all of the obstacles and pull it all together and just make the DG's 5K the experience that it is.
We have to take a little break here, and I'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cayman, it's time to move. 20% of Cayman's population are not meeting the World Health Organization recommended minimum of 150 minutes of physical activity per week for adults ages 18 to 69. That is just 20 minutes a day. The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey gives us information on the prevalence of risk factors for non-communicable diseases, and movement impacts them all. Your health matters. Let's step into Wellness Cayman. Learn more by logging on to gov.ky/STEPS.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support? Call 1-800-534-6463. K-Mind, Mental Health Helpline. It's okay to ask for help. K-Mind Mental Health Helpline, available from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. It's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, informing, connecting, and giving Cayman a voice. From breaking news to community stories, the journey continues. Radio Cayman, 50 years of excellence and still going strong.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we are hearing about the 2026 Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge. And this actually started as something for the civil service to encourage a more healthy living.
Yeah, so back when the Deputy Governor and I first started talking about this, the DG was on his own personal health and wellness journey. He had really decided to focus on getting more active, being healthier, and really participating with some of these community events. And he and I were talking one day, and he said, he'd been going to all of these 5Ks, he'd been signing up for all of them, and he looked around and he really didn't see a lot of civil servants there. And at the time, I was at the Ministry of Health, and we had just had, this was in 2013, we just had our annual healthcare conference. And the focus of the conference had been workplace wellness. And the challenge that I had given to everyone at the end of the conference was to go back to their workplaces and find at least, initiate at least one initiative to help improve their workplace wellness. So the DG and I were having this chat, and he said, I wish there was a way to get more civil servants out to some of these 5Ks. And I said, well, have you thought about having your own? And so that's where it all started. And he said, yeah, let's do this. Let's have a DG 5K. When we started, the target was to try and get civil service out to participate. But as we were planning it, we decided to open it up to get the members of the community out as well. So I had there was a small group of us. I think there were 4 or 5 of us that were organizing it at the time. We didn't know if it was going to be a one and done. We'd do the first one in 2014, and that would be it. But we talked about before, we said, let's try and raise $5,000 and let's see if we can get 500 people to come out. And then at that first year, we were supporting Derek Haynes at the time was running 6 marathons to help raise funds for the new Jasmine building. And so we decided that funds raised that year would go to support the Jasmine project through Derek Haynes' marathons of marathons, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of grown from there. So it is targeted to get the civil service out and moving, but it's also now, as it's grown over the years, just really focusing on it as a community event and an opportunity for a public-private partnership, if you will. Mm-hmm. We have amazing corporate sponsors who have been with us from the beginning, some of them who come back year after year and support us both with their sponsorship, but also with bringing their teams to the event. And it's just great to see. And it's all ages, all levels of fitness, everybody from, the race here in Grand Cayman is a timed race where you get a bib and you get a proper time registered with the timing system. It's all very official. And so, you do get the people that come out and are the top finishers in these 5Ks, but we also get people who this is the first time they've ever registered or ever participated.
So it's really become, a red letter date in our community. It's if you haven't heard of it, where have you been?
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
Right?
That's what we'd like to have happen. We want everyone to know about the DG's 5K. We want everyone to be encouraged to come and be part of it, and just to be part of the experience. And it really is an opportunity to come out and. The DG says, do something that's good for you, do something that's good for the community, and have a lot of fun along the way.
So not only is it big here, but it's had some influence overseas also, right?
That's right. Yeah. So a few years ago, the Deputy Governor hosted the annual meeting of the Deputy Governors for the OTs here, and it was the week after we had the event here in Grand Cayman. And so he encouraged his colleagues from the other OTs to come a little bit early and to participate on the Sunday in our DG's 5K. And I can't remember if 3 or 4 of them did. And after that, the Deputy Governor Williams from the Turks and Caicos Islands went back to her team and said, I want to have my own DG's 5K. And so for the first time last year, we went global with the TCI DG 5K. She had a very successful event there. They raised over $70,000 the first year out.
So it's spreading.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that it is a timed event. Let's talk a little bit about that. For those really serious people that get into these 5Ks.
Yeah. So we have Race Caribbean is our race timing provider, and also the site where you can register, racecaribbean.com, is where you can go to get signed up. So every participant in Grand Cayman that registers will get a bib with a number on it, and inside that bib is a timing chip. And so that chip will record when you go over the start line and then when you come back over the finish line. And then Race Caribbean will post all of everybody's times as well. So if you're someone like me that I'm just trying to beat myself and will never beat anybody else likely, you can sort of compare year on year how your timings have looked. But if you're one of those really hardcore 5K race participants, you get to see your sort of official 5K time.
So they get trophies, first, second, and third?
Yep. Now we have trophies for top finisher, male and female, and the fastest civil servant, male and female, and then we have medals for the first, second, and third in the age groups as well.
Chips are everywhere now. I mean, they're in the bibs. They're
Yep.
everywhere you go, there's a chip.
It's true.
Doing something.
It's true. It's true. Very true.
But also you also have winners as far as within the civil service, or that departments having the most people participating in such?
That's right, yeah. So we know that a little friendly competition is sometimes a very good thing. So within the civil service, the department or ministry with the most participants can win a trophy. That is currently held by the Department of Financial Assistance. They had the most participants registered last year. They took the trophy away from the RCIPS, who had it the year before. And when we first introduced the trophy, the Immigration Department had it for several years running. And Fire Services has also won it in the past as well. But the current holder is Department of Financial Assistance. We also have a trophy for the department with the highest percentage of participation. So we recognize that just having a trophy for the most registrations was going to eliminate a lot of departments from being able to compete for a trophy. So we have the highest percentage participation. And last year there was a three-way tie at 100% participation for the Central Procurement Office, the Cadet Corps, and the Department of Financial Assistance. So that trophy's up for grabs as well. The SAGC, or the statutory authority and government company that has held the trophy for the most participants, is the Health Services Authority. No one has been able to beat them yet, so we'll have to wait and see if one of the larger SAGCs comes out and tries to take the trophy from them. And then we have a corporate cup, which is the trophy for the private sector company with the highest number of participants. And for many years, that was held by Maples. Maples came out in force year after year and took the trophy home. But our diamond sponsor, Appleby, has been the winner of the trophy for the last 2 years. So Maples has come close. Health City has been nipping at their heels as well, but so far Appleby has held them off. So we'll have to wait and see who takes home those trophies this year.
And you have schools also, high schools?
Yes, thank you, yes. And the school with the most participants as well. So Cayman Prep won the trophy in 2025, and actually the DG, I think, is hoping to go and present it to them very soon. I'm hoping that they will all come out and defend that title and win it again, or maybe one of the other schools will knock them off the pedestal.
So, I mean, not only great numbers of civil service are participating in this, which, being a civil service event, you would say, well, they have the numbers, so, their people are going to get out there. But these are big private sector firms that are really, really serious about it also. Yeah,
it's been absolutely fantastic to have such great support from the private sector as well as the civil service. And the numbers are, around sort of half and half in terms of the registrations and the participation from the civil service versus the private sector, and it's just such a fantastic thing to see.
And who are your major sponsors this year?
So this year, our diamond sponsor is Appleby. They have been on board with us as a major sponsor almost from the very beginning, and we're so, so grateful for their support. They have come back year after year to give us their support. Butterfield is on board as a platinum sponsor this year. They were gold sponsors for many years, and when we offered them the opportunity to step up last year, they did and became our platinum sponsor. So huge thanks to Butterfield Bank for that. And then at gold, we have EY, Cineco, Davenport Development, the Civil Service Association Cooperative Credit Union, or the credit union, and of course DART.
Let's see, time for a break here. So Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Whether you're walking, running, cycling, playing outdoors, doing household chores, or basically any job requiring physical labor is movement. Staying active is known to benefit both physical and mental health and is a key contributor to longevity of life. On Sunday, March 29th, the Cayman Islands government will be launching Move It Cayman, the National Movement Challenge. Your health matters. Let's step into Wellness Cayman. Learn more by logging on to gov.ky/Move It Cayman.
Crime does not pay. The government's official receiver and the Royal Cayman Islands Police are hosting a public auction of high-end electronics and kitchen appliances. This initiative supports the fight against money laundering by removing the benefit of crime. Join us this Saturday, the 14th of March, from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Lions Center. Every bid makes our community safer. Pre-register now at CaymanAuctions.com.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from March 9 to 13 at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.portercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cineco and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cineco motor insurance. Learn more and register at cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman News.
Legislation to prohibit social media accounts by person under the age of 60.
You're not savvy enough to come out of your device. It shapes the way you think.
The misuse of technology poses one of the greatest risks.
I think it's the right thing to do. It's the right time to do it.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're talking about the Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge. And quite a bit of money has been raised through these efforts, since 2014. Can you highlight some of the fundraising over the last 12 years?
Yeah, so we have raised almost $750,000 since we started the event, $742,660 to be precise. And we've supported something like 23 different charities. And it's ranged from Jasmine, or Hospice was our first one, and we've DG's gone full circle back to support them again. And we supported the Special Olympics when they were going to the Los Angeles World Games. And then we raised funds to support the Cayman Heart Fund, who were looking to buy an ambulance for the Health Services Authority. And so if you see the Cayman Heart Fund ambulance, that's the one that the DG's 5K helped them buy. And we also helped the YMCA build their Ropes Challenge course, which is in the Field of Dreams. And you may have seen it there. It's a series of ropes and climbs and everything else, and something that I've only gone to the first level and never gone all the way to the top with. But we raised $85,000 that year to support that ropes challenge course for the Y. And then after that, we split into having 3 beneficiaries every year. We had Feed Our Future and Meals and Wheels and the Kiwanis Breakfast program in the schools, as well as the Kirkconnell Community Care Centre and the Little Cayman Primary School. And we raised $89,000 that year. And then in 2019, we were supporting the Crisis Center, the Alex Penton Foundation, and the Special Needs Foundation, and raised $82,000. And then the 2020 event, which was then postponed to 2021, and then postponed again to 2022, when we had that finally in 2022, we raised $98,000. And that's the most money that we've raised with any single DG's 5K.
You made up for lost time.
That's right. Yeah. And we were so pleased because it was COVID times. We didn't know if people would come back out. You know, everybody was still feeling a little not sure about big groups and crowds, but we had a fantastic response from the community. The corporate sponsors came right back on board. And we were raising funds for the Cancer Society, the MS Foundation, and ADASI, the Alzheimer's and Dementia Association. And then 2023, we raised funds for the Red Cross, the Loud Silent Voices, and the United Against Bullying Foundation. We raised $82,500 that year. And $90,000 in 2024 for Boys to Men, the NCVO, and the Addison Kelly Memorial Scholarship Fund, which was using the money to train the trainers for mental health first aid, which is a fantastic program, and so exciting to know that we were able to help support making that happen, along with all of the other work that the charities have done. And then last year in 2025, we raised $93,660 for One-to-One, which was formerly known as Big Brothers Big Sisters. So they have the mentorship program, the Girls Brigade, and the Scouts. And so we're really hoping this year that we'll hit that elusive $100,000 mark in terms of funds raised to help support Special Olympics, Jasmine, and the Breast Cancer Foundation.
But just looking at these numbers here, I mean, 93,000 plus, 90,000, 98,000, 82,500. I mean, that's a good amount of money. This race, even if it's shared between 3 organizations, that must make a big impact on these charities.
It does. And the charities that we have partnered with over the years have just been so grateful to the event, to the public, to our corporate sponsors for those donations. It's, we asked them to tell us what they would target the funds with or for. And they're things that are making a huge impact in the community. I mentioned the mental health first aid training, the Cancer Society. The year that we were supporting them, they were raising funds for the HPV vaccine program, which if there's if sufficient uptake on that, we could eliminate head, neck, and throat cancer in that generation. My children's generation may never, ever see any of those cancers. So, the impact of your $25 registration fee, when you combine it with the support of our corporate sponsors and everyone else's registration fees, collectively, that's adding up to an incredible impact in our community. And because we've had such great support from the sponsors, we've been able to keep the registration fees at $25. We haven't increased them over the years. And then for 17 and under, it's $10. So, with huge thanks to our corporate sponsors that have allowed us to still keep those fees where they are, the registration fees, but still raise this amount of money.
So the sponsors don't just cover the cost of doing this, but they actually put money in towards the charities.
So we've been really, really lucky with the level of participation that we've had over the years to be able to donate most of what we've raised from our sponsors. So the registration fees have helped us to cover the event costs, which then means that almost all of the sponsors' funds go directly to the charities, and some of the registration fees too.
Okay. So there's a run in Little Cayman?
Yep.
That's coming up?
Little Cayman this Sunday. And we're starting and finishing at the Southern Cross Club. The race starts at 6:30 a.m. bright and early on Sunday morning. You can register at racecaribbean.com. And you can also go to the Hungry Iguana and check Shuba to get your event T-shirt and to get signed up. And the Little Cayman race, it's sort of like the three islands are all very different, and our three DG 5Ks are all very different. So the Little Cayman race, we have Gay from the Seahorse Cafe, who provides us with some snacks along the way. She sets up outside of her cafe with a little table last year we had some scones and some cookies, and I think there might have been brownies and some oranges. The first year we were in Little Cayman, we had chocolate croissants at the halfway mark.
So you're running along and you can pick up one of these things and keep going?
That's right. You get to the halfway mark and get a little treat. And then the other really unique feature.
That's good encouragement.
That's right.
You made it to the halfway.
Well done, you. Have a snack. And then the other really neat feature or unique feature in the Little Cayman race that we've had a couple of times is a plane delay, where we've had to hold the runners up so that the plane can come across the road after it's landed. So that's this weekend in Little Cayman. And then the event that we had last weekend in Cayman Brac, a huge thanks to everyone who came out in Cayman Brac last week and to the volunteers who put it all together. It was a beautiful, perfect morning in terms of the weather. We had a great number of people at the start line. We had some groups that came over from Grand Cayman to be part of it, and some fantastic energy there as well. Cayman Brac Beach Resort provided us with some granola and fruit and yogurt after the race, which I think everybody really enjoyed as well. So it was fantastic. And then the event here at the end of the month on the 29th, that is our biggest event. That's where we get
the big race.
The big race. We have the serious hardcore timed runners there, and all of the members of the community, and the energy is just really. If you haven't been to the DG's 5K here in Grand Cayman, you really must come. You just get signed up, put your $25 or $10 down if you're under 17 and under, and just come out and be part of the energy. We have a DJ playing tunes at the start of the race, getting everybody pumped up. We've got, it all feels very official with the start line and the timing chips and the bibs and the track that you have to run over to get into the system. And it's just, such a really high energy environment. And we will also have some snacks, some fruit and coffee and things available. The governor's chef, Mark, has provided us with muffins every year as well. So you want to make sure you come early and get some of those for the event here in Grand Cayman. But you can register for all three of the events at racecaribbean.com.
Is there only online registration?
Yeah, online registration only this year. And you will have the choice of paying online with your credit card, or if you're a civil servant, you can opt for salary deduction using your 6-digit civil service number. We also have a number of companies that are sponsoring their employees' participation. So they have reached out to us to get a promo code, and we will invoice them. If you want to register and support a group, then send us an email at dg5k@gov.ky, and we will set up a promo code for you to register your group online. But online registration, and you have the option of either paying by credit card or by civil service payroll deduction.
So you have to come to the government administration building to pick up your race package for the Grand Cayman race, right?
Yep. So on Thursday, March 26th and Friday, March 27th, here in Grand Cayman at the Government Admin Building public lobby from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. And I do want to say that, I encourage everyone to come early to make sure you get your first choice of shirt size and whether you want a T-shirt or a tank. And the other thing that will be happening as well at the registration here is that the public health team will be there offering some health checks. So the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability is launching a national movement campaign called Move It Cayman, Step Into Wellness. And as part of that launch, they're using our DG's 5K as an event. So when you come for your package pickup at the end of the month, you'll also have an opportunity to get a quick health check as well.
Well, that's a nice little addition to it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're not only can run, but you're fit to run.
Yeah, it was interesting. We had them there in Cayman Brac, and several of us had a quick health check before we went for lunch on Saturday, and I think we all made very different decisions about what we ordered for lunch based on the results of our health check.
Yeah, sometimes when you get that, you stop and think, right?
Yeah, I decided to forego the hamburger, and I had a salad.
So, seeing the notes here, race day information about bringing your own water and things like that.
Yeah, so we really want to try and minimize the amount of waste that the event is creating. The shirts that we use are made from recycled plastic bottles, which is great. And we do want to ask people to please bring your own reusable water bottle. We'll have water stations. We have 3 water stops available on the course. The race here starts and finishes in front of the Government Administration Building. And you sort of do a little loop around up towards the Elgin Avenue roundabout, down Smith Road, up Melmac, and then along the waterfront and back up through town to the Government Admin Building. So there's 3 water stops along the way, and we just like to encourage people to bring their own reusable water bottles so that we're not creating a lot of garbage from those.
Of course.
And also just to make sure that you do plan. There will be some road closures. Obviously, when you get over 1,000 people around a start line, we need to close the roads. So a huge thanks to the RCIPS for their support with that. But that will mean that you want to think about where you're going to park, really encourage people to carpool, make sure that you plan to get there a little bit early. Gives you a chance to not only enjoy the atmosphere, but make sure that you're not running toward the start line as we're all running past it and have already started the race. And stick around afterwards. We have the raffle prizes and the awards ceremony. And, as I mentioned at the start, this is Deputy Governor Manderson's final DG 5K before he retires as our Deputy Governor. So we really want to ask everybody to come out and, show him the support, show him the love. He did message while we were off air saying his apologies. He'd hoped to come, but as we mentioned, he's in a meeting, so wasn't able to join us. But just really please, racecaribbean.com is where you need to go to get signed up. $25 is the registration fee for adults. 17 and under is $10. And just please come and be part of the fun. Help us raise funds to support Special Olympics Cayman Islands, the Breast Cancer Foundation, and Jasmine.
Jennifer Ahearn, thank you so much for dropping in this afternoon and telling us all about the race.
Thank you, and I hope to see you there.
Okay. It's news time. Let's see what's making headlines.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Law firm HSM has released new analysis of Cayman's work permit data, showing 37,075 permits in place as of March 11th, 2026, down slightly from 37,267 in February. HSM says permit numbers have hovered around 37,000 for 18 months, suggesting the expatriate workforce has plateaued after the post-pandemic growth period. In international news, the Associated Press is tracking fast-moving developments as the Iran war rattles global security and energy supplies. They say Iran's supreme leader, Motba Khamenei, vowed Thursday to, quote, not refrain from avenging blood of his father, slain leaders, and every Iranian killed in a statement read on state TV. The war has effectively shut the Strait of Hormuz, a route for about 1/5 of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas, driving Brent crude back above $100 a barrel and raising costs from flying to farming. In other news, Florida wildlife officials are testing robot rabbits to catch invasive Burmese pythons in the Everglades. The South Florida Water Management District says the fake marsh rabbits look, move, and even smell real, drawing the snakes out so contractors can remove them. They're hoping the innovation will help with invasive species. Those are the latest headlines.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
In 1895, the ship the Prince Frederick wrecked on the south coast of Cayman Brac, carrying the young sailor Samuel Sidney Saunders. Saunders would later choose to remain in the Sister Islands, eventually marrying into a Caymanian family. Although not highly educated himself, Saunders was instrumental to the education system of the Sister Islands, having taught in both Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. He would start a private school in Little Cayman, was district constable of the Sister Islands, and opened a school in State Bay following the 1932 storm. In the 1930s, the school was attended by Captain Charles Kirkernel. Ironically, Captain Kirkernel's father attended Saunders School in Little Cayman a generation earlier.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
The Consumer Price Index Rental Survey conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office is now underway. The survey aims to collect data from residents of the Cayman Islands who are renting properties. The ESO invites participation in the Consumer Price Index Housing Rental Survey, which the ESO will conduct in February, May, August, and November each year. The CPI survey helps to calculate the inflation rate or the changes in the cost of living in the Cayman Islands. Trained ESO staff with ESO ID cards will administer the survey. The individual information is confidential in accordance with the Statistics Act. No individual data will be published or disclosed. Survey data are exempt from Freedom of Information requests. For more details, please call the ESO hotline at 516-3329 or directly at 244-4602.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back to Talk Today, and let's take a look at the forecast here. Partly cloudy, and that continues straight into the evening and into the night, and winds are expected to be out of the east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas running at 1 to 3 feet. And if you take a little glance here at the radar, well, there's some little blips of rain in the area, but nothing really big. And in this segment, we turn to culture. Cayfest continues to bring us a month of cultural events for March, and today we hear about an evening of sound, soul, and stirring beauty, and that will be coming from the National Choir and Orchestra. Cayfest on Film, featuring locally made films and Red Sky at Night. And in the studio to tell us all about these events are Cassandra Shea, who is the head of theater and festivals at Cayman National Cultural Foundation, and also Brittany Kelly, who's Cayman's new film commissioner, and she is also a writer and director. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Afternoon.
So, are we going down the home stretch now with Cayfest?
Oh, this is just the this is the middle mark. What are you talking about?
Okay.
We're just at the middle. Next week is the home stretch.
Okay. So what's coming up for this week?
This week, tonight, we have the late night at the Mind's Eye Center. That's over at Miss Lassie's house. That's on South Sound, and that's led by the Education Department. The National Children's Festival of the Arts has a visual arts component, which is going to be amazing, and that's tonight from 6 to 8. It's going to be a great turnout, so come on through. It's free to the public. Tomorrow, of course, as you touched on, is Dawn and Awakening by the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra. They are our resident company of the Harkwell Theater. They rehearse every Monday and Wednesday. They have an amazing lineup of performances. In closing, they're going to have Dennis Carbo's big band, jazz band, doing a closing piece. And we are in for a treat, but tickets are selling out quickly. So please get your tickets at eventpro.ky for your tickets for the Dawn and Awakening by the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra. Then on Saturday, we have the Children's Book Author Collective by Anne-Marie Diaz. It's going to be amazing. It's free to the public. It's at the Harkwell Theater from 10 to 12. There's going to be book readings, book signing, immersive experiences, acting, kids acting. So it's for the full family. You can get your gifts for your kids, early Christmas presents, early birthday presents, all for the family and free to the public. And then we jump straight into Cayfest on Film, which is on Saturday and Sunday.
So you mentioned jazz, but what kind of music would people expect from the choir and the National Orchestra?
So we're getting a lot of jazz classics, contemporary pieces. There is a couple of really popular songs like Here Comes the Sun in the concert. It's a journey from darkness to light. So it's going to be very empowering, and it's just going to be a refreshing opportunity for everyone to listen to some classical music and some jazzy pieces, for a wide array of just music enthusiasts.
So Cayfest on Film, we're trying to big up, I guess, local filmmakers here.
Big up yourself, filmmakers.
From what I understand, you have quite a few pieces.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we are featuring this year. Last year we had over 50 films. This year we curated down. There are some repeat films from last year. So Cayfest on Film is not necessarily a film festival where there are awards and other aspects to it. It's more of an exhibition of film projects by local filmmakers, whether those local filmmakers made those projects here on island or overseas at film school or in different projects. We're just showing a wide array of films from as early as 1998 up to as recently as some films have just sent in their most most edited copy of their film. Last night was the most recent submission, not submission, but like updated file. The goal of this is to encourage filmmakers to make more content because me personally, I believe that one of our greatest cultural tools is media and visual media and film. Social media, movies, television, all that kind of stuff is very important for Caymanians to see themselves represented in, and we should be consuming more media made by the talented filmmakers on island.
And the digital world has made filmmaking much more accessible to people, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The rise of social media, the rise of like smartphones has kind of democratized film, and it's changed the way that filmmaking occurs, and it's a great thing, but it gets a little messy because now there's more globalization, so we're able to consume content from other countries faster and more accessible than a lot of our content that is made here. So it's great for our young filmmakers for sure, and hopefully they'll continue to make films that we can.
So you said last year you had 50 entries?
We had last year I think it was 60 entries, but we had a lot of films last year.
Were you somewhat surprised at that number?
No, not really at all, because we do have people on island who are constantly making content. We have young filmmakers, we have older filmmakers who have been in the game for quite a long time, and they're constantly making content, but they don't necessarily show it anywhere. So last year, the films, we included music videos, we had documentaries, we had feature films, we had short films, kind of anything, animation films, we had anything that you could.
So it's a wide open field.
Yeah, it's a wide range of stuff, and we're really excited. This year, we kind of pared back the amount of films that we're screening because We know some people who came last year will be also coming this year, so we wanted to introduce some new films, and we are replaying a few that people requested that we replay. But we've kind of curated into more blocks this year.
There's themes this year.
The blocks are themed kind of. We have a mental health block. We have a kind of environmental sustainability block. We have one that is one of my favorites, is because I love behind the scenes footage and like kind of making of documentaries. So we have the short films plus their accompanying making of documentaries with that block. And then we also have Q&As with we have 3 Q&As across the 2 days with local filmmakers, and they're kind of moderated by other local film industry people. So we just get to talk film, and it's really cool.
So any names that we might recognize as far as the filmmakers?
In terms of the filmmakers, we have Jazz's film Ivan. We have a film that I produced with Frankie Flowers about nine years ago called Toxin. It's a short film in the making of that. We have Alejandro Baden, who he's quite prolific in terms of his outputs of film. He produces, I believe, a film every 2 to 3 weeks. He's producing a short film. And by short film, I don't mean like 5 or 6 minutes. These films are like 15 to 20 minutes long.
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 to 3 weeks, I believe. Every 3 weeks is his benchmark. He releases another film on his YouTube channel. He's very, very, very quick with his production. And then we have a bunch of films by Awesome Productions, which is Badir Awe, who is very, very prolific in the film community here as well. And a lot of familiar faces: Malcolm Ellis, Heather Harris, Gabby King, Adonza. Yeah, Adonza's film. Adonza Harrison has 2 films in. You Can Make a Difference, which is kind of like a short film that's about drunk driving and like reckless driving, and which features Frankie Flowers in an acting role from 1998, and then also another domestic abuse PSA called Expose the Unseen Truth. And those are kind of, we felt it necessary to include those just because filmmaking is it is part of who we are as storytellers in Cayman.
What kind of social commentary or comments are you seeing in these films? Any kind of reflection? What's the reflection of Cayman in these films?
So there is one block that we have, I believe it's the top block on Saturday, where it's a lot of self-reflection on identity, and it's a lot of who are we becoming, and where have we come from, and where have we gone. And it's a lot of the younger Caymanians are kind of, you see kind of a thread of like searching for kind of social identity and like what it means to be Caymanian and what it means to evolve but also preserve culture. So it's genuinely, that's one of the stronger themes throughout the films.
Where are these films going to be shown?
They will be shown at Cayman Bay in Cinema 1. I just came from a test, the final screen test, and it's Saturday and Sunday starting at 1 p.m. Saturday we go till 9 p.m. at night, and then Sunday we go till 6.
Good. So that's this weekend.
That's this weekend, and it's free of charge. And the cool thing about this kind of a exhibition of films is that you don't need to come at 1 p.m. and stay till 9. You're not trapped in your seat. You can go and come as you please. I know a lot of people aren't really comfortable with that because the films just kind of run concurrently. They run back to back, but it is kind of like an open door, walk in, walk out. You come, you see what you want, and then you leave. And so like we worked with the film control board to rate the films. And so the films will be kind of more kid friendly towards the top of the day. And then as it goes throughout the day, they become more like PG-13, more R-rated.
So is there a actual schedule that people can go to and say, we're going to go this evening to see this?
Yes. So the schedule is online at cayfestonfilm.ky. Both schedules for both days are available.
Okay. So what else do we want to feature here? I know I mentioned Red Sky at Night.
Yeah, that's lining up to be an amazing day next week, Saturday from 4 p.m. Once the gates open, we're jumping straight into events. We've got a visiting group, the Baltimore Improv Troupe. They're going to be doing some improv workshops and shows throughout the day in the Studio Theater. We've got a couple of like master classes, an amazing kind of fiddle master class that's going on about talking about kitchen band, and then we've got amazing demos over in the Caymanian Village. So thatch platting, sand backing, using the caboose, smoke pots. There's conch blowing. There's usually in the past we've had like peppermint making, but I think this year we're doing like coconuts. We're giving out some coconuts, and we're just trying to keep everything about the arts and culture. So come on out. There's about 100 different vendors and with different skill sets. Some of them are visual artists. Some of them are immersive artists. Some of them just sell jewelry, handmade crafts. The food vendors are coming out with our local dishes. I know I'm going to go and find myself a nice plate of heavy food to eat. So I'm very excited about that. And then there's sweet things, lots of baked goodies to purchase. And then there's a kids section. Of course, come on out and, bring your whole family, except for your dogs. We don't really know about the dogs part, but definitely bring your whole family out. And it's going to be good. We have Swanky Kitchen Band performing, Heat performing.
So there'll be constant performing interwoven with everything that's
absolutely
happening.
We have 4 stages if you count the Caymanian Village sand yard area, and so there's storytelling happening at some point in the Caymanian Village. Josepha Martinez, who was the very first Miss Cayfest, will be hosting the festival stage that's outside during the day, and then Zosha McGregor will be hosting in the evening. Miss Mona Lisa Mead will be hosting the Caymanian Village. Miss Pam from Big Fish is also hosting the main stage theater that's happening, and we've got there's something happening every minute. So come on out next week to Red Sky at night. But in the meantime, go on all of our social platforms. We have an event happening almost every single day. So
Red Sky is next week.
Next week, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And tickets are at ticketsplus.ky. So if you get your tickets early, then you don't have to worry about standing in line.
Yeah, that's always an advantage to that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's go over again what's happening this weekend so everyone has that fresh in their mind.
Okay, this week. So tonight we have the late night at the Mind's Eye Center, which is Miss Lassie's house, just on South Sound and I think Walker's Road. Then we have the Dawn and Awakening by the Cayman National Choir and Orchestra tomorrow, Friday. Tickets are at Event Pro. And then Saturday in the morning at the Hartwell Theater is Children's Book Author Collective with Anne-Marie Diaz. And then we hop over to Caymana Bay, and presented by Caymana Bay, the Cayfest on film from Saturday at 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And there's selected Q&As throughout the day as well. So check out the website because there are a lot of shows, but there's also some Q&As with the artists.
Yeah.
So the family-friendly films are more during the afternoon.
Early afternoon.
Yeah.
Starting at like
Mm-hmm.
1 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. So you are the film commissioner.
Yes.
Let's talk about a little bit about your work here. What's happening now with the film commission?
So our primary goal as the film commission is to facilitate international productions and also uplift the local film industry. And so our main goal right now is just promoting Cayman as a film-friendly emerging market for international productions and creating those opportunities for Caymanians on island who are working and have been working in the film industry.
So what kind of interest is there in Cayman as far as making films, commercials?
So a lot of our international productions are those kind of advertising commercials. Like obviously Cayman is a beautiful destination. Like we don't have to do much Photoshop here because it's so gorgeous. So we do get a lot of interest for those international productions that want to come and do kind of the like advertising, the commercial shoots. We do get a lot of documentaries. We are hoping to get more those bigger commercial projects and expanding to that, and then also supporting local filmmakers who want to make their projects here as well.
Do any of the local talent get to benefit from those productions that are here, the commercials or whatever?
Yeah, of course. So that's my main goal is letting any international productions that are coming in know that we have very talented, hardworking crew on island. They're experienced. A lot of them got a large amount of experience on the films that came through during COVID, and we have people who are career film people in Cayman. It's not an industry that's highlighted very often, just in terms of people think that film is Hollywood. People think film is like this weird, unattainable area to get into. But the film industry is middle working class people. They are laborers, they're construction people, there's catering, there's all sorts of like it's not all Hollywood like flashiness. Yeah. It's actually very grueling work. I've worked on set since I started in this industry almost 15 years ago. I started as a production assistant. I've worked in almost every role on set, and it's very hard work. And the people who are here on island know that more than anyone else, I think. And just the importance of getting these international productions coming down is so that we can kind of build the industry and have a sustainable industry for our local filmmakers who are looking to work in that field.
Yeah, it takes a lot of support behind the camera. To make things happen, right? Yeah, for sure. For every even with social media nowadays, because I've worked at media companies where social media is now their main kind of media output. And even a social media shoot, like you think it's just someone holding a camera phone, but it's actually like 7 people on a lighting crew behind them, plus a director of photography and a camera operator for the phone camera. So it's the media industry is a big industry, and I hope that we can continue to evolve so we can support our local creatives here, because we have some like violently talented individuals on this island. Like it's so cool to watch people create here. And lots of times those support people are people that you think of as in the trades. I mean, you got electricians and carpenters. Absolutely, yeah. All those kind of people. Yeah, medics. Make something happen, right? Yeah, we need film. Film is not just a camera and the actors. Film is the sound technicians, the lighting technicians, the catering people, the people who build and buy wardrobe, the makeup artists. It's the editors, the people in post production that work behind the computers and make the marketing assets. It's a full industry. I come from an event background. I worked with my mom's company, Kelly Holding, for many, many years. And moving into film was a natural progression, because film is just creating an event and putting on an event it's a little longer than like normal events. It's probably like 2 or 3 months for a film, but it's a very big industry, and there are many, many jobs available in the film industry. And a lot of people competing for films to be made too. I mean, it looks like almost every state in the U.S. has a film commission trying to lure production to their state. Yeah, and they all have different. I mean, America's so big, and they all have their different states and what draws people. But Cayman, I think, is just as competitive as the states in terms of talent, in terms of our capabilities. So, Cassandra, you had said that we were just about the halfway point. Yeah. So, what is down the line for Cayfest? I mean, did we reach that point? Or
well, if you're looking at just for this year's programming, Cayfest closes with Red Sky at night. But Cayfest in general is an incubator kind of festival. That means that we work and collaborate with artists and professionals in the community that have who have established careers in the arts world, and they're wanting to get a little bit more support or awareness or audience reach with their program, their event, their skill set. So as you know, last week we had the National Dance Theatre Company come down. That was very much a collaboration between the two institutes. And what we did was engage with a lot of schools, and we did a free school show and had some workshops. And we also are doing like a short documentary around the creative and cultural industries, specifically the dance industry, and how not necessarily economically viable, but basically where we are in relation to the global kind of standard of dance community. And we've been doing that type of research for the past 2 years around the creative and cultural industry. So Cayfest is really a opportunity for us to collaborate with other artists and get their specific skill sets on a platform that could be reached a little bit further. So like Anne-Marie Diaz is a book author, and she's doing now a book author collective. So she's bringing together all of these very established book authors who have written children's book, and they're all Caymanian or from the Cayman Islands or live in the Cayman Islands, and we get to tell our stories to kids in a way that kids can then digest specific to them, and that's really important.
And the education aspect is a big thing with the Cultural Foundation.
Absolutely. Every program we do, we try to have an education aspect. So later on this year, Give Me Story comes around in the November season, and we do school visits. So our international and local storytellers go to all of the schools, and they tell stories in our accent. They tell personal stories. They tell a story that they have worked on for the past year to share. And a lot of them are about animals that you would see here, like the agouti or the booby birds, like those are things that we want to share in our schools. And so having that educational aspect is really important. But also we have an education department now. So our education department
within the Cultural Foundation?
Yeah. So we are. So I run the theater and the festivals department, and then Rita Powell oversees the education, research, and grants department. And the education department has been doing amazing things. They've been engaging with schools every single week. They've been talking about, not just how arts can make you feel good, but how arts are just they translate to other aspects of your life. So, movement, it doesn't just mean dance. It can also mean physical movement and physical education, and wellness is a big component of that. And they've been doing amazing work, and they've been working with the NCFA crew for the past 2 months with their adjudications and their programming with dance, drama. They've gone over to the BRAC. So it's been really exciting to see the education department really blossom with the Cultural Foundation and how everything we do now works around education.
Yeah, well, the arts and performing arts, really makes for a well-rounded person coming out of a school. Not just, strictly academic. And actually, it helps a lot of students.
Yeah.
With, kind of hard sometimes to make the connection, but music can help you in math.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stimulating your brain.
Yeah, and also just understanding that there are alternative ways to find a solution. I think art really helps you find a nonlinear path to something, using linear tools. So for example, an art teacher will teach you how to do something, and then you get to discover how to go from A to B yourself. And that freedom allows you then to write a story in English literature that gets you from A to B. Or, math, you come across a problem and you're now realizing like almost everything can find a different solution. You can find a different path to the same solution, essentially. And that's really been exciting to see.
Cassandra Shea and Brittany Kelly, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon and telling us about Cayfest.
Thank you.
And the
Thank
Film
you for
Commission.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Time to take a break. We'll be right back, so stay with me.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. It's back. It's crispy. It's delicious. St. Ignatius Youth Ministry presents Friday Fish Fry Nights. 5 weeks of flavor. February 27, March 6, 13, 20th, and the 27th. Serving from 5 until 7:30 p.m. at the St. Ignatius School Canteen. Dine in or take out. Menu includes fried or baked snapper $17 or mai $15. Served with fries or rice, coleslaw, escovitch, fritters, and more. Drinks just $1. Free desserts while they last. Eat good, do good. Every bite supports our youth ministry trip to the Steubenville High School Youth Conference in Orlando, Florida this summer. Come hungry, leave happy. See you there.
Whether you're walking, running, cycling, playing outdoors, doing household chores, or basically any job requiring physical labor is movement. Staying active is known to benefit both physical and mental health and is a key contributor to longevity of life. On Sunday, March 29th, the Cayman Islands government will be launching Move It Cayman, the National Movement Challenge. Your health matters. Let's step into Wellness Cayman. Learn more by logging on to gov.ky/Move It Cayman.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
The 7:20 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Credit Union, on the road to 50 years of serving our members. Visit creditunion.ky to join today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Well, I'm all alone here in the studio. No guest until 2 o'clock. And if you want to keep me a little company on the phone, you're welcome to do that. Numbers to call 1-800-534-8255. That's, of course, courtesy of Flo. You can also reach the show by calling 949-8037, 949-6990. And you can also WhatsApp us, 925-3261. You can call, or you can leave a message. Do it the modern way. Just drop us a note. You can do a voice note, and communicate. Express yourself. What's on your mind? And saw a little this headline here in the Compass this morning. It says rising fuel cost already impacting some Cayman airfares. So that's, of course, as a result of the military action in the Middle East against Iran, and the result of those tankers not being able to sail out with the oil from over there, where what I think was it a fifth of the world's maybe more than that, but a significant amount of oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz there, and that of course is blocked, and oil has been climbing up, and that is soon going to be spilling over into the greater economy. It may not have hit the pumps as yet, but I guess it takes a little while for that sort of thing to give its full impact. But eventually we'll face it if things keep going any much longer. And energy, of course, affects everything. Fuel goes up, electricity goes up, food goes up. We do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Can I speak on a different subject?
Sure.
Okay. Last couple of days they were on the Parliament met. But may I suggest something else for West Bay Road? May I suggest they put solar lights from in town onto the four-way in West Bay? It's pretty dark out there at night, too dark. And solar would cost them nothing, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's free electricity once you pay the cost of actually installing the solar.
Yes, but you don't have a light bill.
True.
So, because I live off of that road, and I find it quite dark.
Really? You know, I've always thinking of West Bay Road as being well lit, but I've heard other
West
people.
Bay Road proper, the old West Bay Road.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go walking out there at night.
Uh-huh. Well, that's the tourist.
And it's our main tourist area. So I would suggest that if they could put some solar lights from in town to the four-way bay, and also at each bus shed or every couple feet, some proper garbage bins with a bag inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because people who carry water or juice, they don't have anywhere to throw them. You find them in the bush.
Yeah.
You know, if they had somewhere to throw them, because they honestly don't want to throw them in the bush, but they also don't want to walk the whole distance holding it. So if we could just put a couple garbage bins in the bus sheds, so they just pick up the bag out of the bins. You know those mesh ones?
Oh, yeah.
And you put the garbage bins inside, people would use them. Because you do see them looking around for somewhere to throw the stuff. They generally don't want to throw it in the bush.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like no choice, you know?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to suggest those two things.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I hope somebody's listening.
Well, speaking of the lights, I mean, I think that would increase the safety also of walking along those West Bay Road, which can be quite busy. We've had some incidents where people trying to cross the road, but
yes.
The more light there is, I mean, the more visible people will be.
Yes, because like I tell you, I live off of West Bay Road, the bypass. And so I'm out there quite often. So I see what's happening. And it really needs more light out there.
Well, thanks for the suggestion.
And the garbage containers, you see them walking with the water bottles, juice bottles, but they have nowhere to throw them.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your suggestion has fallen on the right ears.
Who's the right? Which government minister?
Well, as far as the garbage bins, that would be DEH, right? And I guess Minister Ebanks would be for the lighting along there. I do believe.
Which Ebanks?
The Honorable J. Ebanks.
Oh, and he works a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, thank you.
All right, you have a good afternoon.
Long time to get to that.
Pardon?
I don't think it should take a long time to get to that.
No. Especially the garbage bins. They should be pretty quick.
Oh, because where I live off of West Bay Road, I have my garbage bins in my yard, and people throw things in them every night.
Okay.
And that's from just people walking around.
So if they're there, they'll use them.
Of course.
Yes. All right. You take care. Have a good afternoon.
Same to you.
We have a couple of more callers there, so let's back to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the Ever Talk today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
Yes. How are you?
Oh, no, bad. You know, what I want to say, Mr. Charlo, is the economic outlook, in my opinion, is I believe it's looking good. It's looking good for, I would say, a lot more people than a year or two ago. It's looking a lot better because also for reasons like increases in minimum wage and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Even though some people have been impacted by other fees and things of that nature, like, you know, some that has e-bikes and things like that, and maybe, you know, the gas prices going up and down, but I still believe that things are looking fantastic, and a lot more people are able to afford things, you know,
Yeah.
than a year or two ago.
Well, that's good that you have that impression.
Oh yeah,
And
I do
tourism
my
is up also.
I do my little sales and stuff, you know, and
Yeah.
I real.
So your sales are up?
Well, it's looking okay. It's looking good. And I think I see for years I've been seeing who are able to afford things and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that sometimes people are even throwing away money, you know.
But listen, I got to take a little break here.
Okay.
So you take care. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, no problem, sir.
All right. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Whether your group works in an office, a hotel, a hospital, or even on the beach, no matter where your group works or what it does, BAF has a health insurance plan for you. You can always count on BAF for affordable, flexible group and individual health insurance plans with professional, friendly customer service. Call them at 949-5089. BAF, your health is their priority.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Screenings are an important part of preventative care, yet 32% of women aged 25 to 49 living in Cayman have never had a cervical screening. Similarly, only 30% of men ages 18 to 69 report having had a prostate exam. The STEPS 2023 National Health Survey gives us information on the prevalence of risk factors for non-communicable diseases such as cancer. Your health matters. Let's step into Wellness Cayman. Learn more by logging on to gov.ky/steps.
Cayfest 2026 is in full swing, celebrating poetry, film, dance, concerts, visual arts, and so much more. Follow Cayman Culture Socials to see it all. It all culminates on Saturday, March 21st with Red Sky at Night, happening at the Harkwell Theatre grounds, featuring local art, crafts, live music, dance, storytelling, interactive activities, and more. It's an event for the whole family. Pre-sale tickets are just $10 adults and $5 for children. Visit ticketsplus.ky to secure yours today. Red Sky at Night, the grand finale at Cayfest 2026.
Sponsored by Ministry of Culture, Camana Bay, Coca-Cola, Webster's Tours, What's On, and Radio Cayman.
Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman has been in my life for seems like forever. I grew up listening to talk shows, to series, and there was no television, but Radio Cayman was there. Radio Cayman has been with us for 50 years. They are a trusted source, especially during hurricanes and other events. Having their calm voice to keep us informed and guide us through major events has been outstanding. So I want to give a big thank you to Radio Cayman, the entire team. Happy 50th anniversary.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We do have a caller on the line, so let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Paulo.
Yes, good afternoon.
And good afternoon to the listening public. Before I drop a few sentiments, I'd like to say a huge congratulations to Miss Paulette Connell, I think her name is.
Yes.
On her retirement.
Paulette?
Yes. When you hear the words, yes, we can, or yes, I can, I think her journey embodies that whole statement, because I listened to the interview, most of the interview yesterday. I think she was on with Mr. O.C. Connor.
Mm-hmm.
He was given, some highlights of her journey and challenges and stuff, and she accomplished her degrees in 3 years versus the 4 that people would normally take.
Yeah.
And I know she spent a few decades at Radio Cayman, so I'm wishing her a very, very, very happy retirement, something that's most rewarded. But as a fellow Caymanian, it's very inspiring, not only to me, but to others, to see that, yes, we can. A Caymanian can go from zero to hero all the way. She followed the whole thing straight through, and she built a career, despite of the challenges, and she stepped up and stepped out. So I am so happy for her. May she enjoy all the fruits of her labor, because she sounds like she's a farmer as well. So, all the very best to her.
Well, I'm sure she appreciates that.
Yes, sir. Now, getting to what else I wanted to say is this. You had a lady caller just a little while ago who was speaking on the issue of street lighting, and it's rather dark on West Bay Road.
Uh-huh.
And I will agree with her, especially in the Treasure Island area. It's extremely dark. It doesn't look safe and good, especially being the strip, the tourism strip. But some issues come to mind why it is that way. First of all, the design of the lights. They kind of shine straight down, whereas the other older lights had more peripheries, so it spread a whole lot wider, spread of the beam, so you got more illumination, more lighting, and I'm out of safety and concern. I think we should look into a different design of lights, more like the older type that has more periphery, And she made an excellent point about having solar lights, because all you're doing is paying for the initial cost of buying them and the setting up, and but after that, it's all cream and gravy.
Yeah.
So you don't have that expense. The third thing I would like to recommend to the government to highly look at implementing, especially on the West Bay Strip, but on other areas of the country as well, not just West Bay or West Bay Strip, is that more public restroom facilities. Because I know whenever I visit the BRAC, every half mile or so, there's a beautiful public restroom facility for men and women.
Really?
And most of the time, they're very well kept. And the BRAC has a whole lot less people than than Grand Cayman. So I don't see any reason why we can't have more public restroom facilities, especially on the tourism strip, because, not every establishment would like strangers to come in to use their facilities.
Right.
So we need to cater to the tourists more.
And
I think,
downtown area too.
Exactly. And I think where we should focus a lot of efforts most on is, beside the governor's house, enhance that area a whole lot better with some public restrooms and fill in the driveway a bit and kind of beautify it with some flora and fauna, because that is a highly trafficked tourism strip. And not only a tourism strip, but a strip by locals too, because it's a beautiful place to swim. A lot of locals gather there. So, you guys do something for us too, but the our tourism product will benefit from it as well. So just a few points for consideration by the elected that are there now, and maybe they can look into it and see what can be done. I know a lot can be done, but will it be done? That's just my sentiments for the day. But again, I'll end as I started. Ms. Paulette, double congratulations to you.
Well, I hope she is somewhere at the station here, because the program is going out in the station. So I hope she heard you.
Yes, sir. All right. You have a good day, Charlo.
You too. Take care. Well, as you know, we have been from time to time keeping an eye on the situation in Cuba, because we have kind of preparing and bracing ourselves for the possibility of more and more Cuban people migrating up, because the situation is getting so bad there. And from what I see, people are now, students, it seems like, are kind of starting to say enough of this, and protesting. Just pulled up here some information here. In early March 2026, Cuba has seen a resurgence of localized demonstrations triggered by a deepening energy crisis and severe food shortages. And these protests are largely spontaneous and driven by imminent humanitarian needs rather than organized political movements. So they just kind of spring up. And this is, a new aspect to this situation now, where people are doing things like pot banging. Residents in several poor neighborhoods in Havana took to the streets on the 7th of March, banging pots in the dark to protest 3 consecutive days of blackouts. Let's take a call here before we have to go to the news. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Chalo, and everybody there.
Yes, how you doing?
Yes, sir. Oh, under the weather, man.
I can hear it.
Yes, sir. Anyway, I heard you on there, and I know a lot about what you're talking about, the gasoline prices, etc. The average price today in America for a gallon of gasoline is $3.60, but increasing. And we have a tanker in Grand Cayman now that came from the Dominican Republic and from the Bahamas. Grand Cayman is the third port of call. So with the war that is going on now, we need to realize that the country that supplies all our food stuff and building material is at war. That's something of great significance for us to consider. And they said that U.S. shipping interest says that June Ike's tankers, which is American-owned tankers, would do little to lower gasoline prices by transporting gasoline from Houston to New York, Houston to Tampa, and all of those places. So they're planning to waive that where foreign tankers can do it, but the foreign tanker will only be 1 cent. They will only get 1 cent difference between the foreign tanker and the American tanker. So the U.S. tanker will be 13.5 cents. A foreign flag tanker in trade will be 14.5 cents to transport the gasoline throughout the U.S. states and the Caribbean and all those places. But I'm wondering how much I'm going to be seeking to find that out, how much it will be from United States coming to the Caribbean, how much cents on a barrel of gasoline, diesel, and avjet.
All right. Well, thanks for that info. Well, I hope you feel better. You take care.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, let me get this. I got a WhatsApp message in here. Let me get this in before we have to go to the news. This message is saying, totally agree with the caller about more trash receptacles being needed. Also, well wishes to Miss Paulette on her retirement. It was lovely listening to her on air yesterday. The point I'd really like to raise today, though, is that NRA needs to put back up the signage by the little intersection across from Subway and Thai restaurant area in Georgetown. There used to be a sign for drivers coming from Shedden Road to give way to those coming from the courts around the post office. Now there is no sign, and drivers are just zipping down Shedden Road towards the waterfront, not realizing they are supposed to give way. And those of us who are familiar with the original layout expect them to give way. It's a mess and been like this for over a month now. Hope they are listening. Well, thank you. Thank you for that, and I hope they are listening. It's 2 o'clock. It's time to see what's making headlines.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Cayman Finance is reporting record corporate activity in 2025, saying general registry data show active companies and partnerships have reached a new high. In a March 12th statement, the body says partnerships rose 36% between 2020 and 2025, from 31,733 to 43,056. Active companies are up 10% to 123,530, with 13,306 new registrations in 2025. Cayman Finance says the figures reinforce the country's role as a global hub for investment, capital markets, and digital asset structures. In international news, according to Reuters, U.S. intelligence believes Iran's leadership remains firmly in control despite the war and the killing of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on February 28th. In a March 11th exclusive, multiple assessments find the regime is not in danger of collapse and that the Revolutionary Guard and interim leaders continue to run the country. The article says that complicates U.S. President Donald Trump's options as he faces pressure over soaring oil costs while vowing to end the operation soon. Also, in a feature published today, the news outlet says some Gen Z workers are already planning for retirement. The agency profiles 26-year-old financial analyst Ryan Lowe, who saves over $4,000 a month from an $85,000 salary in hopes of retiring in his 40s. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and a quick look at the weather. The current conditions, 82 degrees here in Georgetown, feels like 88. Winds out of the southeast at about 3.5 knots, and the forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies throughout the rest of the afternoon and straight into tonight, and winds are expected out of the east to southeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas running 1 to 3 feet. And taking a look at the radar here and see what's in the Cayman area. A few little rain blips out there, but nothing of significance. But maybe you want to still be prepared for a little shower here and there for the rest of the afternoon. And in our final segment, we turn to health with our friends from Baptist Health. I'm joined now by 3 Baptist Health doctors. We have Dr. John P. Diaz, Chief of Gynecological Oncology at Baptist Health Miami Cancer Institute, and he's also a Medical Director of Robotic Surgery at Baptist Health. Also in the studio are radiation oncologist Dr. Jonathan Weiss of Baptist Health Miami Cancer Institute, and Dr. Ivan K.P. Cook, urologist at Baptist Health. Well, good to have you all here. Let's start off talking about the whole idea of a multidisciplinary approach to cancer these days. Is this relatively new, or has this been going on for some time?
It's been an evolution. You know, cancer care used to be delivered by one provider, the medical oncologist or the surgeon. But that really wasn't enough. As we've seen, you need a whole village really to care for cancer patients appropriately. And one of the great things that we do at Miami Cancer Institute is partner with an entire group of physicians that are focused on one patient. So you'll have the surgeon, you'll have the radiation oncologist, the medical oncologist, and those are those that are focused just on the cancer. But we've shifted from beating cancer to making sure that these patients have a great life after cancer. And so we bring in the nutritionists, we bring in our cancer rehab team, our survivorship team, specialists like Dr. Cook, who will focus on some of the side effects that can happen from these cancer treatments to make sure that these patients not only survive their cancer, but thrive. And so this multidisciplinary approach that we've embraced at Miami Cancer Institute really helps to ensure the best cancer outcomes, but also the best quality of life following your cancer diagnosis.
So, Dr. Cook, explain the role of urologist in this multidisciplinary approach.
Well, we come into play usually sometimes before diagnosis, but usually it's during treatment or after treatment. A lot of the gynecologic malignancies or cancers, we'll say down below, affect the urinary tract. You know, the bladder and the urinary organs are very close to other organs. And like I tell patients, where this is like a townhouse relationship. We are not single-family homes. So it's like if your neighbor makes noise, you're going to hear it. So if some patient has a gynecologic cancer or colorectal cancer, they often have urinary symptoms. That can vary. So that's where we come in to try to improve that part of the cancer.
Dr. Weiss, radiation oncologist, that may be a term that people don't quite be familiar with.
Yeah.
Explain that. Tell us about your your specialty?
So there are three main pillars of cancer care in general: surgery, medical oncology, and radiation oncology. So people are probably most familiar with surgeons and medical oncologists. The latter, the ones that deliver any sort of IV pill or drug therapy for cancer. But radiation is that third pillar of cancer care, and so we use it in all different types of cancer from head to toe. Whether, again, it's like a brain cancer, a throat cancer, a breast cancer, or a gynecologic cancer in various capacities. And so it's a very powerful tool in the sense that you can really get rid of some of these tumors without even a knife being involved at all. And so that's not to say that there aren't side effects of treatment. And so that's why, again, we come together with a multidisciplinary team. You can give an example of someone who's maybe had a hysterectomy, had to have some radiation after, that now is having a little bit of problems with the pelvic floor, for example, or with urination. And so we all work as a team to not only just cure the cancer, but really make life as good as it can be after that, so that you feel like, you can move on past it.
How much does this approach impact the recovery of a patient? Mm-hmm. Having all these different people with their knowledge participating?
I think it's essential. A lot of times we'll focus on our own area of expertise. And so as a surgeon, I might be focused on the surgical aspect. But Dr. Weiss will look at things and sometimes we'll come up with maybe an alternative. Is there something we can do that's less invasive in the management of these patients? And then we get our other providers involved early on to help kind of temper some of the side effects that might be coming. There might be some behavioral changes or things they can do to try and decrease some of the side effects that are occurring while they're at treatment, and certainly work with some of the side effects that come after that. And one of the great things that our colleagues do in urology, Dr. Cook and her peers, is they help with the aspects that sometimes, as the oncologists, we don't touch upon, particularly sexual health and sexual functioning after some of these treatments. So we have a robust clinic that works on sexual health, just getting that conversation started. Sometimes our patients maybe don't want to even talk about it. And there are things that we can do, such as pelvic physical therapy. And so we have a robust pelvic physical therapy program, things like topical estrogen. So there's a lot that can be done to help mitigate some of the side effects that come either post-treatment or after treatment-induced menopause, to help these women that in the past we didn't really address or talk about. And it's something that requires a lot of time, a lot of continued follow-up. And these are things that in a busy surgical practice might be things that I don't do a good job addressing. But thankfully, we have our colleague just down the hall who can address these issues that, of course, are important to life, sexual health, and making sure that, you return to an active life after you've beaten cancer.
Now, I know Baptist Health is right at the forefront of, the advances in medicine. Tell us a little bit about some of the more important recent advances that, in your particular specialties.
Well, from a urology standpoint, we have different, I guess you could say, more invasive or less invasive ways to manage some of these symptoms that can come along with cancer therapy. For example, if a person has incontinence of urine or retention of urine, we have Botox in the bladder that we can do in the office. We have something called a sacral neuromodulator. It's like a little bladder, if you want to call it a pacemaker, that we can do to help voiding symptoms. For patients who have chronic pain or suffering with temporary pain after their treatment, we see how we can help from our standpoint with maybe oral therapy, combination physical therapy, referrals. If a patient is having recurrent infections, we try to help manage that minimally invasively with medications. So I think that we have a lot of different options depending on how the patient is doing, whether it's least invasive or more invasive.
Yeah. From the radiation point of view, we're a very technology-driven and focused specialty. And so at Baptist, we are having really all the machines under one roof, so to speak. I think probably over 90% of cancer care from a radiation point of view can be delivered locally, including on island. I think where we start to get into some more tricky situations are in things like recurrent cancers or very advanced cancers where, for example, proton therapy can better spare some of our normal organs like our bladder, our rectum, and these are obviously very important. We're using them every day for important functions. And so when we can really sculpt that dose better to reduce the side effects of radiation, we can prevent some of these longer term problems, toxicities from developing in the first place. And so we really are very much moving forward with some of these newer technologies. And also increasing the indications for some of these procedures, as well as expanding to other spaces, including in some instances using like sort of radioactive injections, so that now radiation can work sort of as a systemic therapy, which is more and more being used in certain types of cancer, that as a new sort of line of treatment that really hasn't been able to be offered before.
Dr. Diaz?
Baptist has always been on the leading edge from a technology standpoint, and that's evident with our robotics experience. And one of the things that this has allowed us to do is to be able to perform these complex surgeries through smaller and smaller incisions. And what that means for patients is less pain, less time in the hospital. Most of my patients go home the same day after their hysterectomies, less use of narcotics. But additionally, we continue to push that envelope. And so we have a new robotics platform that's called SP. And so it allows us to do this through just a single incision. We also have robotics bronchoscopy. What this allows us to do is to be able to get to these small lesions, particularly in the lung, that you can now biopsy. And so you find these things on CT scans. In the past, they were too small. We'd have to just wait. And if they got bigger, well, then we would get worried for biopsy. Now, with the use of robotics, we're able to enter these very small areas and get biopsies. And early on, is this something that needs to be worried about? And obviously, if you can diagnose a cancer earlier, the treatment obviously has better results. And so by being on the leading edge, by incorporating technology like robotics, which is basically bringing computers into the operating room, it's really helped to improve outcomes and decrease side effects from surgery.
Now, you have been involved in an innovative procedure that's called uterus transposition, and this is what helps preserve fertility in certain patients. Tell us about that.
So thankfully, cancer numbers are down, and that's great. But what we're seeing is younger and younger patients with cancers, and we're seeing that as well in GYN cancers. And as women continue to delay childbearing, they're pursuing their careers in medicine or becoming lawyers. We're seeing now we face this challenge where we're having young women who are diagnosed with cancers, be it GYN cancers or colorectal cancers, and in some cases haven't completed or even started their fertility. So the usual treatment would be radiation to these areas. And one of the challenges while you treat the cancer, you're also unfortunately impacting the uterus and the ovaries. And so we had a young patient that Dr. Weiss and I cared for. She was diagnosed with a pelvic cancer, it was a vaginal cancer, and the treatment would have been radiation therapy, which would have successfully treated her cancer, but would have left her with inability to pursue future fertility. And so we thought, well, can we do something outside the box? And we jokingly said, well, why don't we just move the uterus out of the way? And the more we thought about it, we're like, well, we can do this. And so we performed the first uterine transposition. So this was a surgery performed robotically where we released the uterus and the ovaries from attachments in the pelvis. We moved it up into the abdomen, so outside of the radiation field, so Dr. Weiss could deliver the radiation needed to treat her cancer. Once he successfully did that, we then returned the uterus back into the pelvis, and this was able to treat her cancer. She remains cancer-free 2 years later, and she's returned to normal menses, is having regular flow, and preserve the ability to carry a child in the future. So we're really proud of this, and this is the kind of innovation and working together that we can do one of these things that's never been done before.
So that really sounds amazing. I mean, it sounds almost futuristic.
Yeah, and when we first thought about it, again, we were kind of joking, well, let's just move it. But the more we give it thought, we thought this is something we can do, and thankfully she trusted us, and thankfully we've had a very successful outcome.
Okay. Time to take a little break here, but we'll be right back and hear more from Baptist Health.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record into your home.
Hear from your government and community leaders on issues and events concerning the Cayman Islands and its residents during Radio Cayman's For the Record talk radio program, airing each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning from 7:30 to 10.
For the Record.
For the Record.
For the Record.
Is brought to you by JN Money, from abroad to Yard. Fast, affordable, convenient. For more information, visit jnmoneyonline.com.
If you have an objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your...
Don't do it, Tevin! I
I still love you. I have since the day we stole your mom's car and got matching dolphin tattoos.
Oh, Lordy. Janelle? From spring break 08?
Yes, it's me.
Janelle, you've got to move on.
We're like the wedding guest that doesn't ruin the ceremony. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Simon Le Bon from Duran Duran. Simon tells us why he's not bothered by critics anymore. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
This is Totally 80s.
Every Saturday on Breeze 105.3 from 2 to 4. Sponsored by KFC.
Ready to launch your career in hospitality?
If you're an ambitious young Caymanian, the DART Hospitality Training Program is your opportunity to shine.
This paid 4-month program gives you hands-on experience at world-class properties like Kimpton Seafire, the Ritz-Carlton, Hotel Indigo, Hampton by Hilton, and Bonnie Moon Beach Club.
Plus, DART has partnered with Lynn University to deliver an intensive 2-week hospitality curriculum from an accredited institution.
Gain real-world experience, learn from the industry leaders, and open doors to full-time careers in hospitality.
Applications close April 6, 2026, with programs starting May 2026.
Apply now at dart.ky/hospitality.
Cayfest 2026 is in full swing, celebrating poetry, film, dance, concerts, visual arts, and so much more. Follow Cayman Culture Socials to see it all. It all culminates on Saturday, March 21st with Red Sky at Night, happening at the Harkwell Theatre grounds, featuring local art, crafts, live music, dance, storytelling, interactive activities, and more. It's an event for the whole family. Pre-sale tickets are just $10 adults and $5 for children. Visit ticketsplus.ky to secure yours today. Red Sky at Night, the grand finale at Cayfest 2026.
Sponsored by Ministry of Culture, Camana Bay, Coca-Cola, Webster's Tours, What's On, and Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon, and we are winding up the show with some information from Baptist Health and about the advances that they are making in treating cancer. And technology, of course, is a major thing in medicine, more than ever before, I would imagine. Talk a little bit about how these advances are helping things like you mentioned, robotics, precision radiation therapy, minimally invasive surgery. How are these things, especially, let's take a look at robotic and minimally invasive surgery. How are they changing the way that cancers and other complex conditions are treated?
Well, from a surgical standpoint, it's allowing us to do these complex surgeries through minimally invasive incisions. And so the recovery is better for patients. But now we're moving on beyond that. And so we're integrating basic computer systems into the operating room. And so we can now bring in preoperative imaging and overlay that into our screen while we're doing the surgery. You can see exactly where that tumor lies. And so you know where to resect. We're bringing in new dyes. So you can inject the dye preoperatively. While you're on the platform, you can then change to a different visible wavelength, and you can now actually see those tumor cells light up intraoperatively, so you know where to go to remove the cancer. And we can now have the ability on doing the surgery before it's even done. And so you can get this 3D modeling performed. You can actually do the procedure beforehand, kind of map out where you need to go to make these steps. And so we continue to evolve, we continue to bring technology. And what this lets us do is much more precise surgery, ensure that we're getting all of the cancer out. And this is going to translate into better outcomes.
And Dr. Weiss, I mean, in the past, when you heard the word radiation, it was like, let's leave the room. Or But now that can be done very precisely in a treatment.
Yeah, so we have machines really that are specific for each type of cancer, like anywhere in the body. We have actually 2 dedicated machines just for things that happen in the head. So there are some benign tumors that can affect, your hearing or your skull, for example. We have machines literally dedicated just for these specific conditions. And then we have other machines that are able to be used with varying different levels of what we call image guidance. And so one thing about radiation is that it has really only become so precise and so effective at increasing the dose, increasing cure rates, is because our overall imaging technology has gotten so much better. So now we can track tumors while the treatment is ongoing, and by doing that we can sort of really make it a very tight field that gives a very high dose to the tumor with very little elsewhere. So whether we're doing this with sort of gold markers placed in the tumor, or with an MRI guidance, or with a CT scan before the treatment, all these are different ways that we use for various types of cancer that have really sort of changed the game in terms of how precise we can be, but also as a result of that, making sure that people have much less side effects during and also after treatment. We've, in some cancers, by doing this, also been able to reduce the number of treatments you need. In some cancers, before we were doing 5, 6, 7 weeks of radiation. In breast cancer, for example, we can now safely reduce those treatments sometimes down to just 1 week, just 5 treatments. So overall, all of these advances have helped people, both during and after treatment. And really, it's all thanks to the technology getting better year by year.
And what this has allowed us to do is, because Dr. Weiss has all these tools at his disposal, he can actually create the treatment plan for the patient. Mm-hmm. In the past, when you had limited tools, you kind of force the patient into the box to the limited technology you have. But because we have all this at our disposal, you can really tailor the appropriate treatment for this patient, rather than forcing the patient into the treatment modality that you had available to you. And so it's really allowed us to have this tailored, dedicated care to each patient.
Technology has advanced urology also?
Absolutely. Using essentially the same modalities that my 2 colleagues mentioned, this technology helps the surgery become more precise. And in return, not only does the patient have better cancer outcome, but less complications afterwards, when you could carefully excise a tumor and not have a higher risk of injuring surrounding organs and surrounding tissues. So from a cancer perspective, they get better, their recovery is faster, and less side effects afterwards, or less possible complications.
Now, before we get too short on time, I want to ask Dr. Diaz. We understand that you cared for a patient from Cayman who bravely fought a rare ovarian cancer and sadly passed away last month, and her journey clearly touched many people. Could you share with us a few words about her story and how her close friends are now honoring her legacy by supporting initiatives like Bounce Back from Cancer, which helps raise funds for cancer research and clinical trials at Baptist Health, Miami Cancer?
I had the privilege to take care of Cassandra, who was diagnosed with a very aggressive ovarian cancer. And due to the aggressive nature, we had to act quickly. And so Cassandra actually was hospitalized for almost 2 months with us in Miami. And during that time, she had a group of close friends who never left her side. They were with her 24/7 for 2 months straight. These young women put their lives back in Cayman on hold, their jobs, and they were there supporting her throughout her entire journey. It's an amazing group of young women. I've seen families who are not as supportive. And so, unfortunately, Cass did lose her battle to cancer, but these group of women have rallied to make sure that her legacy remains alive. And one of the things that they're doing is next week, actually, this Saturday, they're going to join us. 9 of them are coming to Miami to walk 14 miles from the Cancer Institute in support of cancer research funds. This is our Bounce Back event, and they've already raised an incredible amount of funds. Additionally, on the 21st, they're going to have a celebration of life here in Cayman for Cass. They're accepting proceeds, and all these proceeds are going to help support the Cayman Cancer Society, which Cass was a big supporter of. And lastly, they're going to create a foundation in her honor where they're going to help other Caymans have access to cutting-edge cancer care in the future. So it's an amazing group of friends who obviously were touched by Cass, and they've touched all of us, our entire team. The hospital are just really taken aback by the love and dedication they've shown to their friend.
Tell us a little bit more about the multidisciplinary approach and the importance of that in supporting patients throughout their whole journey, which, as we can see, can be quite dramatic and traumatic and can take a long time. How does the multidisciplinary team support patients until they have fully recovered?
I think one of the new things is each new cancer patient is presented every week at our tumor board, and that tumor board includes the surgeons, the medical oncologists, the radiation oncologists, our geneticists, our clinical trials team, and our nurse navigators who can already start formulating that plan for survivorship. And we create a very tailored approach, not only for the treatment of these patients involved in this multidisciplinary team, but also start planning on, okay, what are the support services do they need? Do they need cancer rehab? Would they maybe benefit from acupuncturists? Do they need to see one of our nutritionists? What are the things that are going to help them not only during their cancer journey, but ensure that they have the best recovery and the best life after cancer? And I think that's one of the things that's very unique to what we do for each patient that comes through our doors.
Would you all like to add to that?
I think also having these systems set in place, it makes it a seamless transition for the patient to see one specialty versus another, and really dictates how well the patient is going to do. And that's one of the nice things about it.
Yeah, I think there's so many people on the team that sometimes it can even become overwhelming. Like, wow, this is so many people. I think one thing that does a great job is the nurse navigators, sort of having someone that you have on speed dial for whatever your need is. Sometimes you don't even know, who am I supposed to phone for this prescription? I have 5 doctors involved in my team. Which one do I need to access? So having these patient navigators as part of the team, the nurse navigators, to really help quarterback people's care has been a game changer. But beyond that, like it's these things that maybe we sometimes overlook, like the diet during radiation, for example, is very important. If people are having too much fiber, for example, it can affect the treatment because you're too gassy one day, or you lost too much weight that now it's affecting your treatment plan. So there's all sorts of things that can come up that really require this multidisciplinary team to come together. And so having that quarterback and then also everyone involved and everyone sort of willing to do their piece in a team is really what we do really well.
So what are you going to be doing in Cayman?
So tomorrow we're having the 14th annual Women's Cancer Conference. And so we're excited. We're going to be discussing exactly this, multidisciplinary approach. How do we approach each individual cancer patient and look at through the lens and supporting them not only through their cancer journey, but after the fact to make sure they have the best quality of life following their successful cancer treatment.
Well, Dr. Diaz, Dr. Weiss, and Dr. Cook, thank you so much for coming in, and I hope you get a little time to enjoy Cayman before you go back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
That's it for Daybreak, by going back to my old show. That's it for Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.